why is the COVID-19 crisis unlike other crises, such as the financial crisis of 2018? Erika, I'm sure you have some thoughts on this.
Well, thanks, Peggy, and I think this has been on a lot of people's mind, and will continue to be for a while, at least until we are on the other side of this crisis. That being said, I just want to start by saying that in any economic crisis, companies, small or large, should be going through some sort of evaluation of their business and assess how they can get to where they want to be over the next 24 to 36 months. So in terms of how the two crises compares, there really are similarities between the two, like bankruptcy, liquidity shortages, large losses, fiscal stimulus. But there are a lot of major differences. Sadly, the COVID-19 pandemic is causing a high human cost, and the economic impact is also very different. Now, if we remember, in 2008, the problem started with the financial sector and gradually spread to some other sectors. What's happening in this current crisis, with shelter in place and lockdown and other protecting measure, shops and businesses and services have closed. So the impact to the real economy is much deeper, is faster, and it's broader. I was looking the other day for some numbers to put this into perspective, and I came upon what the IMF published a couple of weeks ago. The IMF is projected that the global economy is going to contract by about 3% in 2020. And at first I thought, well, 3%, maybe it's not that bad. But if you compare to the damage that happened to the economy during the global financial crisis, that's much worse. So that kind of is putting things into perspective from that angle. But we're also seeing some businesses thrive at the moment in the current environment, the likes of Netflix, Nintendo, Clorox, Peloton, basically businesses that are either enabling people to work from home or enabling people to live in their home better. Mm-hmm. What's encouraging to me during this crisis, and what's different than in 2008, is that we're really seeing businesses embracing social responsibility to a much higher level than we've never seen before. So, for example, Microsoft committed to pay its hourly workers their regular pay, even as demand for their services has slowed down. Facebook, Amazon, and IBM, and many others actually committed to the Open COVID pledge by making their patents available to free of charge to help end the COVID-19 pandemic. At Amino, we are using our 3D printers to make face shields, and we're sending these shields to hospitals and care workers. I think another positive is that we're also seeing the spirit of collaboration between businesses really getting stronger during the crisis. Businesses are really coming together and are working better together to continue to operate and provide better service to customers. And I think this is the spirit of collaboration that's brought us, Jennifer and I, together for this webinar. So Jennifer, let me turn it over to you now. How do you think that the crisis compare?
Well, first off, thank you, Peggy and Amino, for having us today. It's such a privilege to be talking with you, Erika, and I hope that you're enjoying your water. I know I'm enjoying my tea. Erika has started from a very macro point, so I hope along our conversation that we'll look at things from different angles and get a holistic perspective as we walk out. So I love the distinction between the crises. The financial crisis hit, it was slow, we could see it coming. But now on a personal note, from what I've seen, my suitcase that I use regularly sits in the closet and has that longing look at me like, when are you going to use me? Because I have been home longer now than I have in any recent past history. And I know that that holds true for many of us, which is a distinct change. And with each change, there's an opportunity. And for now, as we all look out, also a great blessing. As we look back on what COVID has brought, I hope that we reflect on a great realization, one where a pause in the world leads us back to the importance of family, health, healing for our environment, as many normally very polluted areas are getting a chance to breathe. And I don't know if you've had the chance to look at some of those awesome pictures of places that have been polluted that are suddenly looking like a whole new area. The biggest difference, however, with COVID and things prior is that it's touched every country, every person in some form or fashion. And this is the first pandemic in our lifetime, unlike recessions or other events, where really nobody saw it coming till it was here. So just one of those random thoughts. Can any one of us think of a time prior to this, where at least in the US and mainland Europe, you were concerned that a grocery store might run out of food and toilet paper?
That's
Now,
a really,
it's
really
not
good
just,
point.
yeah, it's not just about, do you have enough money, but do you have enough supplies, which will forever impact a part of our psyche, and goes to show you the value of a good supply chain and distribution, as many of those things that you would count on still today, those Clorox wipes, hand sanitizers, tissues, are still not readily available. And as the uncertainty continues, and knowing that supply is highly integrated, today people are looking at the supply chain just where they are, right? Is there toilet tissue in the grocery store? But as we go forward, we'll likely be surprised by what I call the fourth or fifth layer parts of those things that we need to make it up. So for example, we may have enough green beans, but we might not have the paint color for that type of wrapper on the can because that's where COVID hit. So we'll be looking further and further, both upstream and downstream, and that's a lot harder to research to know when and where we should be spending our time trying to understand and hedge accordingly. So I think as we look at it, there are some real positives, which Erika mentioned, the collaboration and being able to see businesses take a very proactive stance on retaining good talent and what do we do that's different. And then there's some things that are challenges that we'll have to look at differently because we've never faced them before.